set her free and yeah, sure, she might leave here. You'll always have her here. You know what I mean? It's what love is. Yeah? It's what love is.
You know what movie this is? This is one of the best local movie scenes of 2018. Every one of us has a different interpretation of this scene, and they're all valid. But we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves. Let's go back to the beginning of the film. Here's my take. Let's approach the movie by how it answers one simple, cheesy question. What is love? The film gives us multiple answers. When Gio and Joanne meet, there are no bells and whistles, no grand gestures. If you look closely, it all begins as a series of favors. Before you know it, the two of them fall in love. Nothing else matters here. Both are reckless and carefree, diving into their love headstrong. Love, in this case, is invincible. Once the relationship develops further, they encounter things that test this relationship. We see that there are significant differences in how Gio and Joanne react to these stresses. Gio, who has lived a relatively comfortable life supported by his father, is shaken when his father withdraws his support, but otherwise thinks that being transplanted or uprooted from one place is not that big of a deal. Joanne, on the other hand, who is the breadwinner of her middle to lower middle class family, prefers to stay rooted. Stability and a clear defined path are what brings comfort to her. Faced with impending separation, someone makes a sacrifice, abandoning their dreams for the sake of the other. Love in this case is a compromise. But as we see in the third act of the film, compromises aren't nearly enough. Joanne is unhappy with her situation in London because it conflicts with her own convictions and aspirations. Love doesn't necessarily mean happiness. When Joanne comes home, the couple faces a whole slate of new problems associated with long-distance relationships. Gio becomes jealous and Joanne shifts her priorities. While the two are satisfied with their respective careers, they struggle to keep their relationship. Happiness isn't necessarily the same as love. This brings us to the definition of love that defines this film, in my opinion. One of the most striking motifs of the film is the presence of tattoos, which signifies love and commitment. But like one character says in the film, even these things are not permanent. Like love itself, tattoos need to be reapplied as they fade. Vows need to be renewed. And that's the definition of love that sticks out to me in this movie. Love is a question. It is a question that is asked every day when you are in the throes of young love.
I love you.
I love you too.
Or when you compromise for the sake of staying together.
I love you.
I love you too.
Or when the nature of that love has irrevocably changed.
I love you.
I love you too.
Loving is a continuous process of doubt. There are no happily ever afters. And that brings us back to this scene. It's full of uncertainty and anxiety towards a future that seems bleak. It's reasonable to assume that this relationship is doomed. Gio's decision at the end threatens to make the couple even more unhappy with their respective situations. Nadine Lustre's tears and silence seem to communicate that. But the film's title and Ebe Dancel's theme song Prom both serve as cries of defiance. Even as the world crumbles, even as you stand alone, huwag kang bibitaw. Don't let go.
Parang atin ang gabi, para bang wala tayong katabi, at tayo'y sumayaw, na parang di na tayo bibitaw.
I will never not love you.